You're all a bunch of fucking assholes. You know why? You don't have the guts to be what you want to be. You need people like me. You need people like me so you can point your fucking fingers and say, that's the bad guy. So, what'll I make you? Good?
Ladies and gentlemen, I am back. Mario J. This is Tough Love, and it's time to get into another conversation, another difficult conversation. We about to start this week off, and I wanted to make sure that we started this thing off right. I know that you guys are sick and tired of all of the talk about the elections. Are you a Republican? Are you a Democrat? Are you a conservative? Are you a liberal? And it's like, damn it, I just want this shit to be over. But my whole thing about it is, before we jump to the end result, I think it's some things that we still need to examine about all of the rhetoric that's surrounding all of this stuff. The Ice Cube, the Donald Trump, the Biden, the Harris. We need to kind of dive deeper in that. And I want to get some of you guys' thoughts on, how do you feel about this whole election? Are you over it? Are you saying that, this is going to be the best election ever? You know what I'm saying? This is going to be a bad election because of what's happened, you know what I'm saying, with the coronavirus, the pandemic, and everything that's happened for 2020. It's just going to be a shitstorm. Now, I found this vlog that a person had did, and it was D.L. Hughley. Those guys that don't know, D.L. Hughley is a famous comedian, or whatever case may be. And he had some things that I kind of agree with when he started talking about Ice Cube. And I wanted to play this commentary for you guys so that way we can have a little base on, how we feel about this particular thing. So I'm going to play this. Y'all tell me how y'all feel about it. Okay, y'all?
Back with another one, family. I'm going to get right into this bit. Ice Cube continues to be at the center of controversy regarding his meeting with Donald Trump's campaign team about his plans to help Black Americans. It's called the Platinum Plan, for those who don't know. You might as well call that motherfucker the Bling Bling Plan, or the Yay Yay Plan. Yay Yay! Fellow entertainer and Los Angeles native D.L. Hughley recently spoke about Ice Cube on his radio show and expressed what seemed to be a popular opinion about the rap legend. Hughley said that Cube wasn't qualified to be in a room with Trump's team. Being so, he's the man that bought us 3 Fridays. It is not to be taken serious. Hughley also laid out why he believes Cube ruined himself at the altar of Trump, like many other entertainers who've been linked to the president in hopes of bringing about change. Here's the clip.
It's a fantasy to believe that you can get this administration to do anything. You've seen black person after black person after black person after black person ruin themselves on the altar of Trump with nothing in return, and Ice Cube is the latest one. The Platinum Plan, when I heard it, it was insulting from the gate. Why didn't they have the spinning rims plan? We have a third wave of COVID coming right now, and he's meeting with a dude that gave us 3 Fridays. You can always tell the seriousness and import of the meeting based on who is in there, based on what the topic at hand is. Yes, people are right when they say we have a lot of problems, we need a seat at the table, but we need the right people at the table. We need people from education, from finance, from medicine, from medical, from prison reforms, sociology, people who have done this for a living and not made a couple of banging albums. Let me ask you something. Why is it that you will meet with Ice Cube, but you will not meet with the Congress to get a stimulus plan passed? Why is it you won't meet with Joe Biden in another debate, but you'll meet with Ice Cube? Why is it that you will not meet with the people who are trying to stem the coronavirus, but you'll meet with Ice Cube? And I'll tell you what it is. Out of all these meetings he's had with these black people, why are they always actors, comedians, rappers, and athletes? When you watch the RNC, do you see one ex-president, one governor, one foreign affairs expert? Have you seen them endorse him? You know why? Because they know he's a fool. And do you know why Trump picks the black people he picked? Because they are all entertainers, and that's what he thinks this is. All I have to do is show niggas a shiny thing, and they'll be distracted. The platinum plan. You could tell right away that he was working with somebody on that. $500 billion, where do you get that from? And for Ice Cube to say, well, I talked to the Democrats, but they said they couldn't do anything after the election. Let me tell you why. Because they don't hold the power right now. They don't hold the presidency and the Senate, and to get anything past that $500 billion that you supposedly got, who gives it to you? It's appropriated by the Congress, but the Senate has to pass it.
Oh, it ain't done. It ain't done. Listen. I wanted to stop it. I don't want to play all a commentary because I want us to have a tough conversation. First of all, he brings up some good points. How come people are always meeting with celebrities, actors, athletes? Why are they not talking to the people in the community? They're talking to people that's far removed from the community. Are you guys a little shaken by that? Are you a little pissed off? Like, I'm going to go talk to Cardi B, and I want Cardi B to give us how she feels about, the black community that she no longer lives in, that she's far removed from. I'm going to talk to T.I. I'm going to talk to Killer Mike. I'm going to talk to Diddy. I'm going to talk to all of these people that are far removed from any hardship in regards to dealing with the black community that happens, that everyday struggle that happens. Are you guys like, wait a minute, they trying to play us for a fool? The platinum package. He said if you shine anything shiny, dangle anything shiny in front of black people, they run to it. The platinum package. Uh-oh. Is there some truth right there? Does anybody feel like there's some truth? I'm gonna tell you, I'm gonna put the number on the screen right now, and I want you guys to call in. We're gonna get some callers. I just don't want to give you guys my point of view. I want to hear what you guys have to say about this situation, because I kind of feel a certain type of way in regards to feeling like, maybe he's right. You know what I'm saying? First of all, why do you not take the time to say, you know what, let me go talk to the people. Let me find out. You notice that no one is talking about reparations, like Biden or Trump. No one is saying that black people deserve anything. We're not giving you any more money. We're not doing anything extra for you, or whatever the case may be. And it's so funny that everybody that comes and speaks up for the black community, the first thing we start screaming about, we talk about slavery. So it's just odd that when you see black conservatives and you see these activists or whatever the case may be, it's like, when you get to the White House and you sit down and you have that tough conversation, why aren't we talking about slavery? Why aren't we talking about reparations? Why are we not talking about those things? Like in the debate, somebody said, you know what, it's so funny because the debate consists of all of these things that really don't affect the black community. Like all the things, you would think that the moderator asking Donald Trump, will you denounce racism? Will you denounce white supremacy? And instead of black people being out like pissed off that he did not answer the question directly, it was like, okay, we're going to continue the debate. No, we're not going to continue the debate. This is a very important question. It's a very important question. The leader of the free world, right? The leader of America, the man we put in office, right? Why is it that when we ask you a direct question, we can't get a direct answer? Huh? Somebody says, Kenneth Smith says reparations can't help us. It's not if it'll help us or not. See, here's the issue. We're going to get into that. We're going to get into the help part. But here's the issue. The issue is, why isn't that a part of the conversation? Like, why are we not? I need a moderator that's going to ask questions that the black community really wants to know. We got the questions that America wants to know, but I'm talking about the hard, tough conversation and ask the president of the United States, are you a racist, sir? Are you a racist? Will you denounce white supremacy? Stand by, stand down. Is that a yes or a no? Is that a yes or a no? Does that make you feel good about being a Republican, being a conservative, going to the polls and saying, I'm going to vote for this man? I don't know where he stands in regards to racism. I don't know where he stands in regards to white supremacy, but I'm now going to vote for this man. Hold on, Democrats, bring your ass here. Come here. Because that's not no better. And I really do believe that, after the cameras are off, behind closed door, I do believe that, people are cool with each other. You know how people like Biden, like, oh, I hate Trump. But here's the thing. Biden and Trump, they're cut from the same cloth. They're cut from the same cloth. If either one of them loses this election, do you think financially that they'll be hurt? Do you think like this would just be just such a blow to them that it'll stop them in regards to making money or continuing to be successful in America? I'm just curious. I think that we should have demanded as Black America, we should have demanded a response. We should have demanded a direct answer. And a lot of people didn't. No. Whoa. Wait a minute for the voting player. Hold on for the voting. You got to answer the question. And I think that when we miss moments, when we miss those special moments to say, you know what, hold on, we deserve better. And let's get to the reparations. Let's talk about the reparations. Here's the issue. I've been having this conversation with numerous people, and it's coming back the same way or whatever case be. But I think people are saying, you know what, if we give Black people reparations, right? Let's just say we give them, everybody get $100,000. We're just throwing some numbers out there. We ain't talking about math really. We're talking about we give Black people $100,000 each. Okay. What happens when you have people from an urban community who don't know about investing, who's never had any type of ownership, doesn't have any money management skills, doesn't have any real business savvy? They don't have any intellect when it comes to networking, certain deals or whatever case may be. They are particularly consumers, right? They're consumers. I'm going to buy this. I am a customer, right? How many people do you think if they received $100,000, right, they know what to do with it? How many people? We're having a tough conversation. This is Mario J, and this is Tough Love. If I give you $100,000, are you going to blow the money on buying you the biggest mansion you can find? Of course, the whole $100,000. Huh? Are you going to buy 16 pairs of Jordans? Are you going to buy the new PlayStation or Xbox? Are you going to throw a party? Are you going to buy rims? Are you going to buy some bundles? How many people going to invest? How many people going to buy property? I'm just saying. Lloyd says, shout out to the House of Spades. Shout out to King. Shout out to Lloyd. Shout out to Latasha. So Lloyd says, how are you going to learn what to do with $100,000 without having $100,000? Well, here's my thing about it. I believe you can learn what to do with $100,000 without having $100,000 or whatever case may be. That's why we go to school. That's why we learn, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. But the fact of the matter is, how many people will have, see, here's the difference is having the discipline. You learn about money management, right? You may learn a couple things or whatever, but there's a key factor in there. Discipline. If you have $100,000 and you can say, hey, I can literally go to the mall and tear the mall down. I can go to a bar and buy the club. I can go to a club and buy the bar. there are some people that don't have that level of discipline. And here's the thing, in urban communities, that level of discipline is fairly used. It's rarely used. That's why when you go to Section 8 housing, you see all of these rims and you see, all of these cars and you see all of these things. But the fact of the matter is, the neighborhood is run down. The local stores are really, it's just kind of like, hey, we're going to put this store right here. We're really not pumping any money into the economy or whatever the case may be. We're really not doing anything. There's no community centers. Streets are run down. Lights are broken. Abandoned buildings. The issue is, what are you going to do with this money? Now, I'll propose this. I propose that Diddy is saying now that he wants to start or has started, Black people have their own political party. And it was a question on Diddy's efforts because people were saying, why is Diddy saying, hey, let's start our own political party? Should he be the voice for that party? Should he be a silent partner? Should he be a silent partner? Can P. Diddy cross over from hip hop? Yes, he is a successful businessman, etc. But the fact of the matter is, based on his past, they were saying based on his past, can we let all that go and say, you know what? Yeah, he should be one of the guys that starts this party, or should he be a silent partner? Here's the thing when I talk about celebrities and politics and what we should do as Black people, I have an issue because who better to tell us what to do in an urban community than people who actually understand how an urban community works? My thing about it is just like, if you take an activist, you take someone that is active in a community that is under siege, and that under siege is not necessarily just by America. It's under siege because you have criminal activity. It's under siege because you have violence. It's under siege because it's underfunded. You know what I'm saying? So you take someone from that's living that life. You say you about that life, that's living that life. And you have them have a conversation. These are the things that we need immediately. This is what we need to fix immediately. See, here's the thing. When you come up with a list of priorities, it's normally based on the need, based on how quickly you need something fixed. Case in point, right? If I'm in an urban community, or whatever case may be, I may think that safety is the biggest key. If I'm in an urban community, but you living on the outside of an urban community, at some point in time was from an urban community, now you live in the good life, you may not remember that safety should be the number one priority. For you, it might just be like, oh, well, we need to stop police brutality. So your focus goes towards the police department. It doesn't go towards the gang violence. Now, my question to you guys is, I want to ask you something. I want to check my listeners right now. I want to find out, what do you think is more, should be priority number one or priority number two? Okay? Police brutality versus gang violence. Which one should be first? Which one should be first? Police brutality. Should we attack the police department, defund the police, or should we focus on gang violence? I want to see this mindset that we have. I want to know what you guys are thinking right now. Which one should be first? Lloyd says police brutality should be number one. Okay. Do I got anybody else that think police brutality? I'm going to give y'all my breakdown. But I want to find out what you guys think. My cousin says both. Shout out to my cousin. Both should be a number one priority. Now, we're not saying that they're not important. We're saying which one would be on your top and which one would be on the bottom. King says gang violence, gang. Okay, we need to pull away now. Lloyd says police can't enforce the law if they're breaking the laws themselves. Ooh! Come on now. Huh? I only got 27 people viewing this mother. I need some other people telling me, what do y'all think? See, and this is one of the things that happen too. When the black community is asked a question, it's difficult to respond because we don't list things out. We rattle things off, but really, it may not be the list or the priority that we actually need. So when you have someone that says, oh, we're going to have a tough conversation. I'm not playing with you. Let's talk about it. See, the thing about it is when you promote an idea, you promote a wish list, you promote, this is the shit that needs to be fixed. And you screaming and hollering and you protesting and you doing all of this shit or whatever. And then when you come to the table, they say, well, what should we do? What should we do? Now nobody wants to speak because we didn't think about a game plan. We thought about being emotional. You know what I'm saying? I do believe, ladies and gentlemen, I believe that the gang violence, I would address the gang violence. The reason why is because I'm going to be honest with you, anybody that knows, gangs run neighborhoods. Gangs run neighborhoods. If I'm a blood and you a Crip, you know what I'm saying? And I say, okay, well, I tell you what, man, we're going to cut this shit out. You know what I mean? We're going to be united for our neighborhood. You know what I'm saying? We're going to work together to clean up our neighborhood, to build a community center so these kids have somewhere to go, to talk to them about, you know what I'm saying, the investing, talk to them about opening up your own business, talk to them about communication in regards to professional and personal. Huh? Let's create, here's the thing, who don't like gangs? What? I'm about to talk my shit. Huh? There are so many leaders in gangs. I want you to think with me. I know some of y'all don't think like this. So let me pull y'all back in. For those people that's affiliated or you ever been around a gang, all right? There are leaders in those gangs. There are people calling the shots. We're going to hit this person at this time. We're going to run up in this house. We're going to get this store. We're going to rep these colors. You see what I'm saying? There's rules to this shit. Imagine if you had people come together for the good of the community. We're going to clean up our community. We're going to push the drugs on our community. We have an internal force to police our community. So now if you have the police, right? The police come in or whatever the case may be. What are they really doing? What are they really doing? Besides responding to an incident. See, the magic here is to take the police out of the equation and say that we need you guys to come in and clean up this neighborhood. I don't believe that. I don't believe that. I believe the people in the neighborhood should clean the fucking neighborhood. That's what I believe. That's what I believe. It's a tough conversation. We never put the onus on the people inside the environment. We put the onus on the police that don't live in the environment to come in an environment that's fucked up and say, oh, well, we here to fix some shit. First of all, check this out. Some of y'all don't even listen to y'all mamas. You don't listen to your daddies. So you think you're going to listen to a total stranger? And what makes it bad is you have people that join these police forces, right? That live outside of urban communities, that don't understand how the psychology of how an urban community works. And they're taught, you see what I'm saying? Even though they have these levels of engagement, these levels of force, escalated force. The fact of the matter is, it's like this. How many people know, right? Do you see the way the black community is portrayed on TV? Do you see the way the black community is portrayed on TV? I'm tired of y'all shit. Listen. Do you see the way the black community is displayed on TV? Now you tell me, if I'm a white boy or a white girl from a southern community, the suburbs, right? Look at what's being displayed on TV. Do you think I'm about to go into that community and I'm not going to have a certain level of fear, lack of understanding, lack of connection, and a certain level of aggression? We're not talking about the bad apples that go in there and they're preying on people. I'm saying as a human, because at the end of the day, these are humans. Now, we got some people that shit. We got racist doctors, we got racist lawyers, we got racist judges, we got racist teachers, racist trash men. So we understand that there are bad apples in every organization that have humans. We understand that because we smart. But I'm talking about if you choose to become a police officer, imagine what you're up against based on what you see that society promotes on mass media stations. That we are savages. We say it in our songs. Our women are concerned based on what's saying in social media. The women only concerned about the WAP, and the fellas is only concerned about big rims and PlayStations. They saying we as black men, we are not concerned about being fathers. Women are not concerned about being in successful relationships. Right now, mass media is pushing right now. The greatest leaders in the black community are black women. The greatest leaders of this generation right now, are black women. How many people agree with that? Yes or no? How many people agree? The greatest leaders right now that represent black America are black women. That the black women are leading the charge when it comes to Black Lives Matter, when it comes to talking politics, when it comes to standing in front of the gauntlet and saying, we going in. Does anybody believe that? Unfortunately, that is a reality for many in our community. Agreed. Saying black men need to do better. Black men need to get out front. These black women are leading the charge. My thing about it is, especially as a black man in America, right? I see so much that promotes the division. Like it's black people against white people. It's black women against black men. Like it's so many things that promote the division. And I'm just trying to figure out, like, where's the love? Like on some real shit. Like, where is the love? Like, how do we get full circle? How do we get back to us? How do we get back to loving each other, respecting each other, having fun, linking up and just having fun? I think we are partying. I think we are disrespecting, distrusting. I think we are doing all of those things away from the goals that we actually need to be setting. To be honest with you. There's so much conversation on why black men are so bad. There's so much conversation on why black women are so bad. But it's not a lot of conversation on why we not building together. You have one bitter person that decides that I was in a bad relationship. I was in a toxic, narcissistic relationship. It was messed up. And then that one person makes this public announcement that it is all. We ain't individualizing shit. We're saying all. And I think for some reason, instead of people saying, if you had a bad time in your relationship, right? Before you broadcast it, I want you to do a self-reflection. I want you to do a self-reflection. Y'all saying, well, where's this going? I got you. Stay with me. I want you to do a self-reflection. The thing about it is, I believe that of course, bad news travels faster than good news. The issue is that when people have problems in their relationships, we as responsible adults, we as bystanders, we don't do a good job of nurturing situations. We do a good job at spreading shit. We don't do a good job at nurturing the situation. And what I mean nurturing is just like somebody told me, once before, what I'm saying? It takes a village. I think it just takes somebody that gives a fuck. I think it takes someone that cares enough to say, you know what, let me give you some positive advice. Find you, get back to you. See, it's hard. And this is what I was talking about being so vocal, right? It's hard for the Republicans and the Democrats to win the black vote because they don't talk to us. You understand what I'm saying? Everybody tries to find a way to relate. Okay, well, Republicans gonna make sure, you know what I'm saying, I don't pay a lot of taxes and I keep my money and, and the Democrats, they really for black people, but, they don't really talk about. It's like we're trying to find a way to relate to somebody that sounds better. We've been in this bad relationship with America for a long time. I told you I was bringing you back, right? We've been in this bad relationship with America for so long and we get out of it and we want to say, well, fuck everybody. Ain't that what we do? You get out of a bad relationship and you say, I get out of a bad relationship with one woman and I say, well, all black women ain't shit. You get out of a relationship with a black man, you say all black men, right? We done got out of a relationship with all of these different political parties and now we saying F America, right? Because we want somebody, and the thing about it is there's nobody there to mend the wound. There's nobody there. We ain't talking about stroke our ego. We're talking about to heal the hurt, to rebuild the bridge, to establish a foundation. I don't think black people want just quick handouts. I don't think that. I think there is no one there to mend the wound that has happened. For people to ignore the fact that slavery even existed, right? That a lot of the foundation, the economic structure, the build and the push, the momentum, whether it was wars, whether it was civil rights movements, whatever you want to say in regards to America, black people have been intertwined in the gathering, building, reconstruction, and development. So you got to say, you have to think, why is this conversation not being brought up in an election? So if you're a black person, you're like, okay, I'm not expecting you to talk about Kunta Kinte, but I'm expecting you to say, hey, listen, you know what I'm saying? We do have an issue here in America. There's some things we need to address. And I feel like no one is able to mend the wound. No one is able to lend aid to say, you know what? Black lives do matter. Even if you feel all lives matter, even if you feel blue lives matter, I want to specifically talk about black lives at this particular point. If these people had to develop a movement to get your attention, do you know how ridiculous that sounds? It's ridiculous to have to tell people that black lives matter. It's ridiculous. It's preposterous. It's crazy to have to tell people, to have to tell America that black lives matter. It's ridiculous. And the counter to it, well, all lives matter. Here's the thing. If black lives matter, blue lives matter, and all lives matter, then what we're saying is human lives matter. And if we're talking humans, then how the fuck would you feel if your ancestors was brought from a whole nother goddamn country, brought here, and here's the thing, for some people who went to school and didn't even learn anything about slavery, they were saying George Washington, Columbus, we were learning about all these things, but they missed some of the information, We were misinformed. So when Martin Luther King and you have Malcolm X, you have these people talking about slavery, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. It's tough love. You on the line?
Hey Mario, I was listening to what you were saying just now, and I totally agree with your vision. One thing that I feel like black people must do is gain knowledge as to, like you were saying, as to why we're in the position that we're in. And when I found out why we're so downtrodden, it was freeing. You know what I'm saying? I was free from wondering why we're put in this position. To know that the reason before slavery was the answer from when the Dark Ages, when the Moors were, when the Moors ruled Europe. So they had to come hard. They being Europeans had to come hard and treat black people in a way that made us where we are today. Our mindset where we are today, because they know how powerful we are.
Mm-hmm.
It makes sense.
Yeah, definitely.
And I believe that, like, knowledge, because we don't know, black people, we're the only people that cannot trace us back to nothing. You see a redhead Irish person, a redhead person, you can probably trace them more than likely back to Ireland. You see an Indian looking person, from India, you can 10 times out of 10 trace them back to India. We don't have no foundation. We don't know where we came from. Mm. And they know, if we did know where we came from, and if they did, if the information, which is out there, you just gotta seek it, you know what I'm saying? If everybody knew that it was a time before slavery, I want people always stop at slavery, but I'm like, before slavery, it has to be something, you know? And that's what got me into finding out about the Moors and the rule over Europe. And I'm like, oh, we powerful as hell. That's why. Oh, okay. That's why we are so beat on. That's why we are so what is the word when we why they keep us down so hard? Why it's our race? You know what I'm saying? Like, we were the only race that was taken from one continent to a whole other continent. You know,
no doubt.
Because we were. I'm like, that's knowledge is power. You know what I'm saying?
No doubt.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, I really appreciate the statements. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot of people saying that they agree with what you're saying. And I'm gonna go a little bit more in depth. I'm actually gonna free the line up, but I definitely appreciate you calling in. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Yeah, so I totally agree with what she's saying. The thing about it is, I think that it's great to do all of the research and find out, where black people originated from or where they were brought from or whatever. But I just feel like right now, even if for some people that say, you know what, I'm tired of talking about slavery. I don't want to hear it. Like, I don't want to hear anything about 400, 600, 700 years ago about what happened to black people. Right now, I want to deal with the here and now. And you know what? That would be a great conversation. Let's start from right now, right? Because a lot of the people right now, they wasn't slaves. A lot of the black men and women right now, they wasn't slaves. So here's the thing. The thing about it is, like, suppose we decided as Black America, right, to fix Black America. That means that all of the Puff Daddies, all of the celebrities, all these black celebrities, hey, listen, you might can't buy a Bugatti this year, right? No more mansions, right? No more, $1,000 parties or whatever case be. We're gonna pump this money into a fund. Okay, now we're gonna get this money. Hey, Lord, I'm talking to you. We're going to get this money, right? This pot of money. We can keep the pot of money over here. And what we're going to do is we're going to get, right? We're going to find people. Let's just say, okay, hey, you from this projects, you from this city, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. We're going to find representatives from the states that we feel like, okay, well, harbor the most black people or whatever case may be. And we're going to have a meeting. And this meeting is going to last for probably a week. and we're going to sit down and we're going to prioritize the needs for black people. Why we can't do that? Why we can't do that? Why we can't do that? All of this money that's being pumped into WAP videos, into reality TV shows that don't put black people in a good light. Why don't we do that? We don't need Donald Trump to do that. We don't need Biden to do that. We can do that. We can do that. Can you imagine Puff Daddy saying, you know what, man? We're going to start our own political party. We're going to start our own political party. I got somebody else on the line. Tough Love, you on the line. Hold on one second. Hold on one second. I know she said, that's longer than a second. Hold on. I think I might have up. Yep, I'm still here. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Okay, let's talk. Let's talk. This Tough Love, what's going on?
Not much. I've been following you actually for the last couple of weeks.
Okay, all right. All right. What do you think? What do you think so far?
I like your show. I like some of your videos, the posts that you posted.
Okay.
And I'm a little bit different.
Okay.
I have been talking and healing for a very long time.
Mm-hmm.
The big part of the problem of America, not just with Black America, with America, period, and specifically with these two racial groups, neither one of them wants to leave the plantation. The second issue is that when it comes to what you all keep saying, Black America, they only understand listening to evil. They do not understand to listen to truth. They don't know how to decipher truth from evil. And I'm called in because there was something that somebody put on your post saying that Black Americans, majority of them suffer from PTSD. That is not true because most Americans do not seek mental health at all. So they're not suffering from PTSD. What they are doing is being evil and inflicting their evil to other people to be victims, because being a victim is also a power. If you could get a group of people to control and manipulate and have them repeat what you're doing, then the battle has won. America has a deep problem with all human beings, not Black and white. But because these two groups of people keep focusing on those two issues, because they're publicized and federally traded every day, no one is looking at the big picture or seeing the forest for the trees. Everything that's happening in this country is about violence, and how everybody solves their problems in this country. Majority of the people is violent. They are very not controlling their energy, have no power with their energy state, and do not understand that energy is the currency of the planet. Your mind, your thoughts, the emotions aren't. And most of the people act out of their ego and do not have control of their emotions. So therefore, you cannot listen to what these people say. The other issue is when it comes to voting goes all the way back to if a person actually believes that these African ancestors that died for their freedom, which will be their descendants, if their descendants actually believe that these were their ancestors for the last 100 years, they would have finished the legacy that their ancestors created and would have been voting for the last 100 years. You cannot get a group of people together to decide to come to build when their whole life of building with their energy base is showing you that they're mean and evil. And then when you sit with your energy base and call these people your people, then what does that make you? So you want to call somebody your people because they have the same skin complexion, because it seems like you're going through the same power struggle together. No, you're not. And it's not wise to call these people your people, because then now you're taking your energy and aligning it with their energy, and then now you're saying that these are your people, and you're wondering why things will never change for you. Another issue why nothing won't change for you is if you keep calling yourself something that somebody coined a phrase and gave you a label and said who you are, and is looked upon the world as the ugliest thing walking, the meanest thing walking, when is the energy going to change for you? Because now you've assigned yourself to somebody who's evil, who says this is who you are. America has a problem. And Black America's problem is, and I speak about this all the time, Black America attacked me on social media and in my face, being a spiritual activist in different communities and in different 5 states that I go in and out of working in. And I would say this, and if it offends people, I want to apologize ahead of time. A Black person in this country has to make a choice. You're either going to be a Black, you're either going to be Negro, you're either going to be African American, you're either going to be colored, or you're going to decide to be who you truly are, because you're not a slave anymore. You might be an emotional slave, but you're not a slave with chains or shackles on you anymore. You have to make a decision. You live in this country. You were born in this country. You have a United States birth certificate. You have one choice to make. It's to be an American. And then you have to get up, and then you have to go live. Then you got to work with people with minds, not based on color. And then you have to fight to say that you're an American. And you have to be recognized as an American. And you got to make sure that the laws for this person also applies to you. And make sure that everything they give to this person, you're supposed to have it too. But you first got to clean up your own backyard.
I definitely...
You can't be a person walking around with a bone and going back to the person that you're saying that's oppressing you and asking them for help.
No doubt. No
and
doubt.
that is the problem.
Yeah, I definitely...
That's abusing you for help.
I definitely agree with some of the points that you made. I'm going to actually go further into, providing some feedback. Hopefully you can stay tuned. But I definitely appreciate you calling in. You definitely drop a lot of knowledge, and I think there are some people that agree with you or whatever. So I'm gonna reply back to that with some feedback or whatever case be. But thanks for calling in.
Thank you, and keep doing what you're doing.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
Sir.
Thank you. Wow, we getting some good feedback. Now let me dive into some of that or whatever case be, because this is what I like about that. Black people have to choose who they want to be. Are you going to be a Negro? Are you going to be a Black person? Are you going to be, a slave survivor? Like, Black people have to choose who they want to be. That's interesting. Do you feel like if you're going to vote for Republicans, like I am a conservative, like we're so big on these titles. We're so big on, these titles make us who we are. These titles separate us from the savages, right? They separate us from the hood. Degrees, they separate us, that we're more established, right? We're more noteworthy. People listen to us now. I like the fact that when, she said that just because someone has your skin color doesn't really mean that they're your people. And I agree with that. You know what I'm saying? And here's the thing. I totally agree with that. The topic is we're talking about are the Republicans and Democrats, are they really earning our vote? Like, are they really talking to the black community? We've given opportunity after opportunity. The direct questions have been asked. And it's just like, for some reason, no one is saying that we deserve to be a part of the conversation. You know what I'm saying? And I know a lot of my military friends, like, they can't, you know, especially if they're still on the military or they're contractors with the military, they can't say this shit, but I can say this shit. No strings on me. The fact of the matter is, it's like, do you feel like these politicians are talking directly to black America? Are they talking directly to black people? And I just feel like when you sit down and you listen, there is nothing being said to advocate, you know what I'm saying, to provocate for black people. You see what I'm saying? And it's like you have to sit down and almost hope that something sounds similar to something you may want. Lower taxes. Okay. Yes. Okay. Yeah, that's me. Okay. Right? Oh, medical coverage. Yes, that's me. But it's like, I just feel like, can you imagine if a president, can you imagine if a presidential candidate or the damn president themselves said, I am sending the military in to urban communities to help clean it up. We're getting all the drugs out of all the urban communities. That is my number one priority. It ain't overseas. That is going to be my number one priority. And you say that shit. You say that shit on national television. That there is a war against drugs and we are coming for your ass. Can you imagine that? Can you imagine how that would shake up the entire America if the president said that? Now you're talking directly to urban communities or to communities that's infested with drug problems. We're going to, if you are an addict, we're going to make sure that you get help, real help. We're going to make sure that you go through a detox transformation, and then we're going to give you some job training. Woo! And then after the job training, we're going to place you in a job. Oh my God. Can you imagine if the president said some shit like that? I don't need you to talk in code. This ain't no braille. We gotta feel this shit out. We just gotta feel this shit out. I want you to talk to us directly. I want you to say X, Y, and Z. I don't want to think you said it. I don't want to hope you say it. I don't want somebody else to translate what you're saying. I want you to say it directly that I am here to build America. Or we can't make America great again if we all not equal. So your best statement should be to make America great. Not again, but to make it great. And in order to make it great, you have to empower people with knowledge. But the issue is that I don't believe that the urban communities are ready for the transition. We don't hold ourselves accountable. You know Tyrone killed Mike, but ain't nobody talking about it. But if Pam or Patrick comes into your neighborhood and kills them, oh, it's a problem. If the police kill them, it's an issue. But if your homeboy down the street kill them, it's an issue. We can't clean up our own neighborhoods. So who is left to do it? The thing about it is, when it comes to voting, I don't think anyone has earned our vote. You know what I'm saying? I don't think anyone has earned our vote. I've seen a lot of gimmicks. I've seen a lot of people talking to people about conversation. Come on, man. Carly B would tell you herself, dude, she don't really know nothing about politics. You know what I'm saying? And all of the antics in the conversation, like all of that shit, like, to me, honestly, like, Black America, are you tired of being ignored? Are you tired of saying, I'm going to take, can you imagine all of us were students, right? Can you imagine we get the top of the class is getting A's and B's? Can you imagine the motherfucker that's getting goddamn D's and F's? And the teachers say, I want to talk to someone about, making this class better. And you got all of these motherfuckers with A's and B's, but she says, you know what? I want to talk to the person that just failed the last test or that don't really know the curriculum well. That's the person I want to talk to. Why ain't Black America asking, why are you guys talking to people that don't know about politics? That's not in the Black community. Why are you talking to these people? You're not talking to the people that's advocating and giving you a timeline on Black people ever since goddamn 400 years ago, all the way up to now, breaking it down, you know what I'm saying, through the goddamn transition of slavery, the goddamn transition of laws and goddamn civil rights and all the leaders and able to break down all the deaths and when it happened. And you don't want to talk to those people. You want to talk to the motherfuckers that's talking about WAP. I'm curious. You want to talk to LeBron James. I'm curious. You don't want to talk to the people that's sitting down and coming up with a priority list for Black America. This is our priority list. You don't want to talk to the people with the list. You want to talk to you want to talk to Ice Cube. When the last time Ice Cube been in the hood? Ice Cube said himself, I don't really know politics. I just been, dibbling dabbling in the last couple years. And people like, yeah, we should applaud what Ice Cube's doing. Shut the fuck up. Shut up. We should applaud what Diddy is doing. Shut up. T.I., shut up. The fact of the matter is, where are the people that actually know what the fuck they doing? The people that's actually on the front line advocating in these communities, from these communities, speaking for these communities. Why aren't they being given the limelight? Why aren't they being talked to? You can't prioritize something when you're not within that goddamn arena. Huh? I'm in my mansion. Let me prioritize some shit for Black community. Yeah. Mm-hmm. There are a lot of things affecting the Black community, but nothing bigger than the Black community itself. So when we talk about voting, you know what I'm saying? My thing about it is half the people that don't like Trump don't even know Trump's policies. They don't know Biden's policies. They just know Democrat, Republican. Republican bad, Trump. Democrat good. I guess they're for Black people. The opposite of the Republicans. No one's earned your vote. No one has said anything that's going to actually make sure that your child gets home safe from school. You know what I'm saying? That the next time that your child get busted for stealing out of Walmart, they're not gonna get goddamn 3 years, but they only gonna serve half the time, and get out on good behavior. They automatically get time. First offense, you automatically getting time. Because you can't afford a lawyer. So you gotta go with the public defender and you gotta plead out. Crazy. There is a system in place. You know what I'm saying? There's a system in place. And the thing about it is, man, for 30 days, if we focus on building communities, and we focus on saying we're going to have this money on the side so that way if our children do get in trouble, we're not going to get public defenders. We're getting lawyers. Okay? We're going to talk about actually building our community. We're going to talk about having the tough conversations. I just think that right now, man, I think DL Hughley is right. I think people are dangling these shiny things in front of us, and we just so goddamn like reality TV show. WAP. New rims, new hair. We're so like the next biggest thing versus the things that we should be concerned about. And then what's so funny about, let me ask you guys something. Do you think that every generation has a responsibility to the next generation? And I want to ask the people that's like in their mid-30s, mid-40s, that range right there, whatever. I want to ask you guys, do you think that we've done a good job for the next generation? Like, we've done enough. We've put them in a good position. Let's see if we can read this real quick. N. Johnson says the reason politicians will not talk or doing anything towards reparations because the black community will not come together. I agree. I'll agree. If you just tried to call, please call back. I agree. And it's sad because the first thing we say is we want black people in office. We want black people that's going, they're not going to go there and say, yeah, it's okay for everybody to go smoke weed on the corner. They're not going to do it. They're not going to be giving out free 40s. They're not going to let you in the movie theater free. Like, this is not about just talking. This is not about being cool, because everybody's not going to like the things that's going to happen. But the fact of the matter is, we're so used to letting shit slide. We're so used to letting shit slide. It is crazy as shit. It's Tough Love. Who do I got on the line?
Hey, what's going on, man?
What's going on with you?
Nothing much. Hey, I've been watching your podcast for just under a year.
Okay.
I think. All right, I grew up down south.
Mm-hmm.
The first time I went to the polls, it was back when I was like, you know what? I ain't gonna lie. The first time I actually voted, because I was in the military coming out straight out of high school, so I didn't vote them earlier years. First time I actually voted was when President Obama became president.
Okay.
And I was literally told by my auntie to vote Democrat. And me not knowing no better,
right,
that's what I did.
Right.
Now, at that time, I really didn't study the politics. And one of the main reasons why I chose to vote, because we had a man of color, you understand what I'm saying?
Right.
That was about to become president. And in my mind, I'm not a believer in sports, entertainment, none of that. Why? Because it make it seem like that's the only thing our people can do. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So when President Obama become president, I'm like, all right, that give the kids something else to look up for. Look up to. You understand what I'm saying? And when you think about it, a lot of the brothers cleaned up their act when President Obama became president. Well,
okay.
I'm gonna tell you what I noticed every 4 years, and this is part of the separation between the two races. The Democrats will start bringing up racism. You understand what I'm saying? Every 3 to 4 years, we see the same thing. And I work with guys that's Republican. You see what I'm saying? I work in an environment that majority of people is white. Now, can I actually say discrimination and racism don't exist? That's not true. It does.
Right.
But it's based on that person, not a whole group.
Right.
And as long as they keep using that against us, we ain't gonna never be able to do nothing. Now, I disagree with the idea of anytime I start a party.
Mm-hmm.
We don't need a party. What we need is a super PAC. Super PAC to bring us together on a one collective.
Right.
But you got everybody thinking from an individualistic standpoint.
Mm-hmm.
Now, when it comes down to reparations, do I agree we should get a check? No. What needs to happen is the infrastructure needs to be taken care of in the urban community. We all talk about the Black Wall Street, right? But how many of us is actually recreating the Black Wall Street? If we do our history, we'll find out it was more than just one black community that was burnt down and tore because of white males was allowed to do what they wanted to do, and the law turned a blind eye.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? And but if we don't start working on ourselves, the problem is never going to get corrected. That's why they would go to these celebrities. That's why they're going to go to these athletes. Because at the end of the day, like you pointed out earlier, they already far removed from the situation. So to them, it don't matter.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? But until that you put yourself in a position to be on the, you know what I'm saying, to be able to voice your opinion, it's going to continue being the same old cycle over and over again. And you're pointing out something good. We do stuff in our own community that's also causing the separation. If we want to talk about, let's keep it real. When you brought up male against female, guess what? All right. Do infidelity not lead to also distrust?
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We don't want to talk about that kind of stuff, but that also causes division. And we bring those emotions over into a conversation. Soon they see a brother, all right, dang, he voting Republican. Something wrong with him. Well, at the end of the day, he got his reason for doing that.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? But that's what we all need to be looking at. What's the bigger goal? What's the bigger picture? Because right now we paint a bad reality. That's what's exactly happening. We paint a bad reality. And now you have people, they literally want to vote just to get Trump out of office. That's not voting. That's not voting. I mean, all right, have he did some reckless stuff? Yeah, the guy have. Have he lied? Yes, he have. But now, am I gonna say, well, hey, the only cause you should do is just to push him out of office? We had good candidates on the panel, on the Democratic panel, and they got looked over. The smartest guy that was on that panel, no one's really paying attention to, was Andrew Yang. He was trying to help everybody. He was trying to bring everybody together, but they looked over him. We was too blind to see that this guy was the best guy. Everybody was, even at that time, talking about Joe Biden. Why? Because he was Obama's vice president? Did we hear when Obama was running in the primary with Joe Biden actually said about President Obama? Everybody had that behind the scenes conversation when they was talking about how articulate he was.
Right.
You remember that?
Yeah.
So that's what I'm saying. Growing up in the South, we know how to identify with someone that is actually racist. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And Joe Biden ain't too far from it. And I'm not going off opinions that I done read in the paper. I'm going off the way he carry himself.
Yeah.
Even when he made that comment with that dude on the Breakfast Club, when he made that comment to him about if you're not voting for me, you're not black or something like that. Right there, he was showing who he really was.
I think you definitely made some great points, man. I'm gonna continue with this commentary because I'm about to wrap up. But the fact of the matter is, I really appreciate everybody that's called today. You definitely hit on some great points, and I'm gonna dive into some of the things that you said as soon as I get off the phone with you. Thank you for calling in, bro.
All right.
Be safe, man.
All right, bye.
And let me just say this real quick. Hey, for everybody that's calling in, I really appreciate your feedback. Not only does it make the show better, but it gives a different perspective on the topic. So I really appreciate everyone taking the time out of your busy day to be a part of this conversation or whatever the case may be. I'm not going to be too much longer, but I'm hoping that we are actually developing something. I know a lot of people say it's a lot of talking. It's a lot of conversation and we need action. And my thing about it is, I think we should really talk to the Diddy's. We should talk to the T.I.'s, the Killer Mikes. We should talk to the Jay-Z's and the Tyler Perry's. Why can't we just do something for black people? You know what I'm saying? And find people that are credible, that don't have a crazy ass history. You know what I'm saying? And just say, look, we need you to take this list and activate. Let our powers combine. You know what I mean? We need you. Thunder, goddamn it, Thundercats. We need people that are smart, that are outside the box thinkers to come together and formalize a game plan that will help Black America. And it's a lot of talking. To be honest with you guys, man, can you imagine if someone did a public service announcement, and we did a call, you know, for all of the black people in America, and we made a list. We made a top 25, and we said these are the top 25 things that we want to work on. And we find somebody, we develop an organization with some intelligent black people, right? People that know finance, people that know engineering, we develop a organization full of people that understand how to make things happen. The conversations are being had all over the place. You can find plenty of content creators talking about what we should do, how we should do it, when we should do it, etc. But I think we need action now. I think we need action. I think we need people solely dedicated to making this shit happen. You know what I'm saying? And I got love for, you know what I'm saying, what the Diddy's and the T.I.'s. I got love for what they're doing. The issue is, or the question that I say is, do we feel like they should be the ones that are doing it? Can you imagine Cardi B saying, I think we should have our own political party? And somebody would be like, well, what's wrong with that? I like Cardi B. I like her personality. But does she know how government works? See what I'm saying? This shouldn't be a popularity contest. And that's the issue, what I feel like, especially in an urban community. It's about a popularity contest versus the people that are most qualified for the job. See what I'm saying? And I'm not talking about building something where everybody else is excluded. I'm talking about building something so that way, when you want to learn about business, when you want to learn about success, you want to learn about life, and you want to learn about relationships. I mean, I'm talking about this list of 25 things. I think that's something I want to do. I want to literally have a show where we do a list of 25 things and we say, what are the things that you feel that needs to be fixed for Black America? And we do a list of 25 things. And we take that list and we send it to celebrities and say, you know what? Tough Love is starting an organization, and the organization is going to be addressing these things and putting the money in the pot. Let's put the money in the pot. The fact of the matter is, we have to have other Black people who think that's important. And I think that the biggest downfall is going to be, you know, the skeptics. And it's not going to be Caucasian people. It's not going to be Hispanic people. It's going to be other Black people. Because the thing about it is, you have to find a leader. You have to find someone that can rally the troops, someone that can articulate well enough that it reaches the urban communities without, I can talk street, but do I look street? Right? I understand the lingo. You know what I'm saying? And I understand the dialogue, I understand how it moves, but can I also go into a courtroom? Can I also go in front of Congress? Can I sit with the president and articulate as well? There's a different, you know, you can't take Cardi B, right? Her dialect, her tone, and you take her and put her in the White House and say, now I want you to speak to America. Now I want you to sit down and I want you to write out a policy. Now, I'm not taking anything away from her. I'm just saying the fact of the matter is, we as Black America need action. We need action. Diddy, we need action. T.I., Killer Mike, we need action. It's a lot of talking. And the fact of the matter is, when you have celebrities, I do expect more. I expect more when you start speaking out. See, here's the thing. When you start speaking out, you start putting this cape on. You start opening your shirt up and saying, hey, look at me. Right? I got the S on my chest. And when you do that, you start saying, okay, well now, since you talking superhero shit, you got to do superhero shit. You got a certain level of responsibility. Somebody told me, since I didn't find out about the Ice Cube thing, about the CW, whatever the hell it was, I didn't find out about it until late. What, you was under a rock? It's his fault you didn't find out. Shit, I found out about Friday movies. That was well advertised for some reason. Huh? I found out about the Friday movies. That was well advertised. So when you're doing something for black people, it's like, oh, well, only people in California should know. Only people that follow. Listen, bro. If you a celebrity, you got celebrity friends, you know how quick this shit is. Hey, y'all, I'm putting this out. I'm going live on Twitter. That shit should be trending. That shit should be everywhere. CNN talking about it. CBS, ABC. Huh? Shannon Sharp. Everybody should be talking about it. The issue is that we say, as long as somebody tried, that's good enough. No! You showing the S on your chest. Now you got to do some super shit. It ain't good enough just to get it to one state. It ain't good enough for it just to be trending one day or 2 days. You got to make that shit the front door. You got to put that on the front door of everybody, in everybody's hand, so everybody can have a stake in it. You can't sit down with your rich friends and talk about, well, I think this should be the priority for the black community. You ain't in the black community. You ain't in the black community coming around every now and then talking about, here goes some free turkeys. Here goes some free CDs. Here goes some free DVDs. Like, okay. Cats be killing me because they show one act of kindness that they always got to record, right? And it's like black people, oh my God. The shiny things. People are dangling those shiny things in front of black America. And it's like, I'm so hypnotized. Let's start having a tough conversation, ladies and gentlemen. If you're just tuning in right now, you missed a hell of a conversation. If you've been rocking with me since day one and you just been sitting and taking this in and throwing a lot of feedback, I really appreciate you guys. We are growing this platform. It is definitely going to be a lot of great conversations moving forward. We're going to talk about the stuff people are afraid of, but great. The best thing about this is we're not going to only talk about it. We're going to be promoting change and we're going to be pushing the envelope towards action. Ladies and gentlemen, I am Mario J. This is Tough Love, and we really appreciate you guys for rocking with us. Please share, please comment, like, subscribe. If you're hearing me on a podcast, trust me, it's worth hearing. And hopefully, you know what I'm saying, I'm saying some things or some parts that your children can hear as well. Hey, make sure that you guys enjoy yourself. Peace and love. I'll holler at you.